This episode is we call this episode personal accountability. Nobody's perfect, nobody's the greatest, but we can all be accountable. What do you think the age is when accountability starts? When you should be responsible for what you do and you can't blame nobody else. It's all you at that point.
You know, you're considered a child, you know what I mean, or a minor.
Unless you do a crime and get charged as an adult.
When you're 18.
No, sometimes 17.
17, you know what I mean?
Sometimes 16.
And I think accountability is that, the severity of what you do. You know what I mean?
No.
You know what I mean?
Every choice you make is accountable. You gotta be it's accountability.
And, you know what I mean? If you're 15, you murder somebody, you know what I mean? Fully accountable, right? But if you maybe draw on the wall, you can excuse that on being a child. You know what I mean? A child makes childish decisions.
No, I'm talking about like what age you think.
Yeah, that's what I mean saying. Like, you know what I mean? The
whenever
severity of
you
what
can make the decision, when you can go into your closet, you can pick out the clothes you want to wear, you can match the colors, and you kind of aware of what you want to do. At that point, accountability set in.
You know what I mean? Like what you saying, 5 years old?
No. 5-year-old can't pick out their own clothes. I'm talking about like probably when you probably about 13, 14, somewhere in there. Like around 7th grade. Let's say 7th grade. Really, you can put 6th, but about 7th, 8th grade, when you start really coming into your own personality, you kind of, pick who you want to be around, picking out your own clothes. Like say this shirt match these jeans.
Yeah, it's a very gradual thing.
It's a gradual. You don't get it all at one time. Just the older you get, the more accountability that you kind of have. You know what I'm saying?
Freedom, right? You get more freedom.
Freedom comes with a cost. Accountability.
Yeah, accountability.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So your parents making all your choices for you. What you eat, what you wear, and things. Less accountable because they're making the choices for you. But you know what I mean? You become more independent.
That's true.
You make more choices on your own. Good choices, you know what I mean? Independent choices.
Right.
The accountability level raises. The responsibility raises.
That's true.
With your choice, you know what I mean? It ain't always got to be bad.
No, it's not all bad.
Bad choices, you know what I mean?
Good choices, you get, you know what I'm saying? Good things at the end of that choice, you know what I'm saying? You do your homework. You pass the class. Good consequence, right?
Yeah.
You don't do your homework, but then you have every excuse. My dog get 80, or, been real busy, or, just haven't had time, or every excuse you can think of. I had one guy, I was in junior high, I think I was in 7th grade, he told the teacher that he couldn't do his homework. He was late to class because it was a baby snake outside his porch. Oh, some crazy stuff, man. Some people can't come up with some creative excuses, man. You know what I'm saying?
Or the funny ones, they don't pertain anything to do with your homework.
Boy.
You know what I mean? That was this morning. You were supposed to do your homework last night. You know what I mean? So you done told this whole big story.
It's just instead of just saying, you know what? I was just lazy. I didn't want to do my homework, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And the accountability, accountability, and make those choices. You start like, it's like planting a seed. If I make good choices, I have good outcomes. Bad choices, bad outcomes. And sometimes when you save kids or people and accept those excuses, there's like, I found a loophole. I can do bad things and get good rewards if I lie or steal. Like, well, you know what I mean? I can steal his work. I can be lazy, steal his work, and then still reap the
And the reason we're doing this is because it's very important to understand, because we've been there. I know I didn't make some crazy choices, made some of the craziest mistakes, but I had to be accountable and say I couldn't blame nobody else. Like, I did this because of so and so. I did this because of this. No, I messed up. I have to make that up. I have to make up those steps that I missed. Because to be honest, I'm not saying that you should want to make a mistake on purpose, but you learn from your missteps and mistakes. You know what you need to tighten up on. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly right.
Yeah. So kind of like in football, like talk cornerbacks. They say if you don't open your hips up, you may not get to the ball like you're supposed to. So you watch the game film and you see, whoa, I'm not opening my hips up. You're gonna be accountable, or you gonna say, well, nah, man, it was supposed to be a 5-step slant, but he ran a 3-step. So I was thinking he's gonna run a 5-step, so I didn't open up my hips to come downhill because he was supposed to do it on a 3-step slant. Now he did a 5-step. Just come up with ways to kind of rationalize how you do stuff, and that's in human nature. You know what I'm saying? To rationalize, do stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And you're exactly right about that. And when you don't do what you're supposed to do, and every time you get away with not using proper technique, it reinforces that bad behavior. You know what I mean? And my speed will make up.
Right.
For that.
Yep.
And you learn these bad habits.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then you maybe meet a real athlete, and your speed, you need your technique.
Right.
Your speed can't make up because he's just as fast as you.
You ever seen the videos when Jerry Rice and Deion faced off? That's probably some of the most awesome. Jerry Rice. Deion even said, like, Jerry Rice, man, dude, do not play around, man. It's like dude wasn't like blazing fast, but the technique and the fundamentals was so insane. Like Deion Sanders, you could tell he used his speed and his wherewithal, but you could tell when he messed up because he was all relaxed. Next thing you know, you see Jerry Rice run like a post. He get that inside leverage on him. Now you see Deion running,
Trying to catch up.
like, man, this dude just won't stop. Because he said Deion, he had so much endurance. Deion was like, Jerry Rice had so much endurance. Once he started doing it, it's like dude wouldn't run out of energy, man. It's like, so you chase the dude around the field pretty much, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Then he running West Coast, so he running them weird routes and stuff.
Stop it going, yeah.
With them little C routes. It's like a 7 route or something. Man, it's crazy, man. So.
And it was not the regular route tree that you used to defend.
West Coast route tree, yeah. So, first topic. I had to learn this for myself too. You cannot look outside of yourself at other people to do what you're supposed to do. Pretty much what they're saying is a quote I heard. I think I heard John Sally said in an interview with. You can't depend on somebody else to tell you what you need to do. You have to understand you. You have to know what you need to do, and you have to go by that. I can't depend on Jay to tell me stuff I need to do. Sure, it's awesome to have a friend that can tell you that, but sometimes you don't always have that. Sometimes you have people that surround you, and they're around you for material things, and they keep egging you on and gassing you up to do crazy stuff. So you have to have the mental awareness to say, wait a minute, I need to slow down and stop. Or I need to rethink what I'm doing because it's going to cause me great harm. You know what I'm saying?
You're exactly right. And the accountability. You know what I mean? When you're a child, I didn't know that was hot. You know what I mean? Or my mom told me that was hot, so I know not to touch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when you're an adult, didn't nobody tell me to set an alarm so I can wake up? You know what I mean? And your tardy's adding up.
Boy.
You got to deal with those real world consequences. And man, they fired me because I was late 23 times. They didn't tell me that was going to fire me.
They don't never say that,
you know what I mean?
They just say I got fired. They did me wrong.
You know, exactly.
They don't say I woke up at the last minute. I kept waking up at the last minute to go to work.
Because nobody told me to get an alarm. Nobody told me that. Like, who was supposed to tell me that?
Somebody said, no, tell me to wake up 30 minutes early or something like that.
Yeah, I had to be at work at 7. I set my alarm for 7.
You know 6:55.
I mean, I didn't, you know what I mean? Well, I gave my time, self-time to get dressed, but no time to get to work because nobody tells you that. But you got to, even if nobody tells you, you got to deal with the consequences.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
That's that accountability piece for yourself. You know what I mean? Some stuff, it's a rule. No, don't be tardy. Don't be late for work, right?
Yeah.
For get some sleep. You know what I mean? But when you on your own, your parents, nobody's gonna say, "Hey, it's your bedtime. You got to go to work in the morning."
Right.
If you drunk, gonna have a hangover in the morning.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's gonna affect your ability to wake up and function without pain.
Yeah.
At work.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody told me if
Boy.
I drink or I didn't get enough sleep, I will be miserable at work.
Another thing that get you in trouble, man, at work too is joking, man. You know, when we was younger, man, they used to get me in trouble a lot, boy. Say the mouth gets you in trouble, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get on the road, man. You think you the funniest guy in the room. You realize comedy and corporate don't mix, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Especially when, how we grew up, you know, roasting people, you know what I mean? It's a common joke, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jeffrey wears the same shirt every Wednesday, you know what I mean? Jeffrey's will,
Yeah, I'm going to go
on
ahead and try.
fixed income.
Yeah.
And he took that very seriously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Boy.
He's going to commit suicide in the car, but you know what I mean? Now you having a meeting.
Boy.
For just a little joke that you had with Jeff. You know what I mean? And now you can't say nothing to Jeff because that's retaliation.
Boy,
You
for
know
real.
what I mean? So you can't say nothing about that.
Yeah, so don't depend on somebody to do something for you that you should do for yourself. Because waiting on that, you'll mess around and be in some crazy situations, man. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
especially in these times, man. People gas you up, get you canceled, mess around and be in jail or something, man.
yeah, and it's you know your weakness. I can't tell. Hey, you know, Mike, have a hard time spelling. You know, you may want to go over these words.
Right.
You may have a hard time math. Hey, keep your calculator open at your desk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like, this and that. You know you.
Right.
You know how to prepare yourself. Use your weaknesses. Think about them and try to compensate from it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Well, nobody told me I can use a calculator. You know what I mean? Use your tools. You know
That's
what
true.
I mean?
Yeah. And the next section we get into is what factors do you use to make a decision? Now, this is an important thing. This is almost like the technical part of thinking. Most people be thinking, they don't think about the little technical stuff about thinking, it's like we talk about getting a job. When I get this job, what's the schedule? What time I need to get up? What's the dress code? What time does lunch start? And then to go beyond that, what kind of job is this? Is this a micromanage job you get micromanaged? Or is this a time where you manage your own time? Or is this a job where it's kind of like a mixture of both? You know what I'm saying? You have to factor all that into your decision making. Even like say we talked about that check to check mindset.
Yes, sir.
After I pay the bills, the money that I have left over, do I just hold on to it? Or do I just go buy some clothes, do this, do that, and then have you go from this to this now left over. Now what do I do with that? And then you realize, oh man, you know what? I didn't get enough gas for the week. I got to fill up the car again.
Yeah, and imagine taking in consideration, are you going to be paid weekly, bi-weekly,
Yep.
or monthly?
Mm.
So it's just 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
You got another 2 weeks. You get paid monthly.
Boy, you think 2 weeks don't go by. You think it go by fast till you have to do it.
Yeah.
On a budget, it's like it go by slow. Boy, be sticking that key switch. Make it last forever.
Yes, sir. Like you living on a prayer. You know what I mean?
Boy.
It's it's the line before E. Maybe I can.
And a lot of restaurants don't got dollar menus no more. That's starting to be obsolete, bro. I know
don't
when we was
know.
giving away that McDonald's had that dollar menu. You get the McChicken for $1. You get a double cheeseburger. You used to get 2 apple pies for $1.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't even get 1 apple pie for $1 now.
$1.
What, is it almost $1.50 now for one?
Yeah, exactly. You know
Boy.
what I mean? Ooh, you know what I mean? You can.
But now at McDonald's, man, they be tripping though, man. They be giving you them blade apple pie. Like they coming out with blade 4 or something.
Why? 'Cause
Them
they dark.
apple pies be so dark, man. so burnt. Especially if you go to one in the hood. It's the ones in the hood sometimes. You know, you go to some of them, boy, them must be nice. Like they just came out the oven, you know what I'm saying? You go to some.
Do you think apple pie is like a menu item that really people really buy?
I don't know.
That,
I don't know.
That's why the quality be messed up, you know what I mean?
Depending on which one you go to.
You know, I mean, I don't know. I can.
No, the one in the hood, I guess they may not.
And
man, them things, boy. Like Wesley Snipes, man. Bobby Brown.
Don't be cruel.
Boy, don't be cruel. So, go ahead.
No, but you know, you was talking about the what factors you use to make a decision, right?
Yep.
You know what I mean? What's your process? You know, let us know what's your process is.
Yeah, let us know.
You know,
I think age has something to do with the process. The older you get, the more factors you have to make better decisions. Versus 16 versus 25, you know what I'm saying?
You know, you weigh, look at pros and cons differently.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm a person. I weigh this. I scale it.
You don't have enough life experience yet to have those factors that you would have at 25 versus when you're 18. You know what I'm saying?
And you know, you're 18. What you want weighs heavy on the scale.
Yeah.
Versus what you need.
That's
so
true.
Your pros and cons will be very different. You know what I mean? Like, well, it paid this, or I get to get in a free to the movies. You know what I mean? That's real important to you. You know what I mean? 18. You know what I mean? You making up?
And you know, let's be honest. Most of the time, most dudes, depending on where you are, your demographic or whatever, most dudes in their 20s, 19, 20, 21. A lot of the things that factor in your decision is you trying to, you know, if you trying to get the girls, you chasing girls. So a lot of things you do is you trying to attract girls, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to get nice clothes, you're trying to have a nice car, you know what I'm saying? Have a nice place or something like that. All that's factored into decisions you trying to chase girls, you know what I'm saying? You know, trying to get girls or something like that. So your decisions are based on you trying to get girls, you know what I'm saying?
What's your motivation?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You do the pros and cons, you know what I mean? And, you know, what's driving you to do this?
Right.
What's the root cause? Why you want to get a job?
Right.
Why you want to go to a certain school? Why you want to live in a certain places? Well, I heard the girls was over there.
Right.
Or heard this neighborhood or property is up and coming.
Mm-hmm.
I can double my equity in a couple of years. You know what I mean? These apartments are newly renovated. You know what I mean? These are what is your motivation? You know, to make money, to save money.
Mm-hmm.
That's factors into your decision making. You know
surrounding yourself with people that's similar interests, and you know, everybody has different personalities, but you know, you get a team of people together, you know, y'all can move forward a different way. Because one person may be a risk taker, one person may be conservative, one person may be aggressive, another person may be passive. You know what I'm saying? But when you have a team and everybody kind of learn from each other, kind of help each other out, you know, with making decisions, because the person who's aggressive may go a totally different way than a person that's passive. But if you can kind of combine those two together and make the best decision based on the personality traits, you know what I'm saying? That's another way to factor into decision making, you know what I'm saying?
You know, like having a good group, team, mentors, you know what I mean? Even, you know, hey, this person's not my friend, but they have done it before. Right. They made it, you know what I mean? Like, hey, you bought properties, you know what I mean? Can you help me out? Like, what do I need to look for? Yeah. Sometimes knowing what you don't know is very important. You ain't lying. Or just being humble enough to admit that to yourself. Right. Or you made it through law school. What's some other hurdles or pitfalls? Right. You know what I mean? And then you can use that, you know, in your pros and cons. Right. To figure out which school you want to go to, making your schedule. Mm-hmm. Can you work while you're in school? Right. These are decisions you're going to have to make for yourself. Right. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to say, I didn't know it was going to be this hard to go to school and work. You know what I mean? Nobody told me that.
Yeah, like picking a major, right? What factors into you picking a major? Are you looking at the job market? Are you looking at the max pay? Or, kind of like a ballpark of what you could get?
Or are you like, I wanted to do this just since I was 5 years old? Is that your only motivation?
Right.
The dreams of a 5-year-old?
Right.
You're 25 years old,
Right.
and you're basically chasing the dream of the 5-year-old you.
Boy,
So
that's true. So, our next topic is, does the environment have an effect on kids that they grow up in? What you think about that one, bro?
yeah, you know what I mean. It can be a big factor in their motivation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you grow up in a situation where you're struggling, food is like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like not guaranteed where your next meal come from. You can get in a situation or go to a good school. You know what I mean. You're thinking about the food. You're gonna steal the teacher's apple because, like, you know what I mean.
There's lunch for you.
Yeah, like I mean, they just gonna leave food around. You know what I mean.
For real.
And you can't focus on the learning environment.
That's true.
You know what I mean. Growing up in violence, you know what I mean. You just want to be safe. You're not concerned in learning.
Oh yeah.
You the window. You look in the windows like somebody can come in there, or when they gonna start shooting. You know what I mean. The things you worry about and concern yourself with is very much environmental.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean.
Definitely.
So you gotta, sometimes you gotta eat before you can learn. You know what I mean. You gotta be safe before you can read. You know what I mean.
And one of the things I got in here is, does the surroundings factor into a kid's understanding and learning abilities? The answer is yes. Number one, you realize that every kid learn different. It's stuff about different environments that the book, you can't learn in a book.
Yes, sir.
Living in the projects, you kind of learn how to deal with certain people and not to deal with certain people. And you learn the reason why you don't deal with certain people and not deal with certain people. You kind of get an ability to understand when stuff pop off. You kind of know when to move away, when to get away, or when to get out of sight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Should the kid learn those things? Probably not, but that's just how the nature of the beast of growing up in the city. In the suburbs, kids get exposed to different stuff. Like, say, you got the little, what they do in the suburbs, little drug labs or something like that.
The secret meth labs
and
you know things like that.
That can happen in the suburbs. Or other suburbs, you see them taking pills or something like that, selling pills, you know what I'm saying? More of a suburb thing, you know what I'm saying? We're living in the project, you see so many people that's different. You know, that how they say it takes a village to raise a child. But you gotta think now, in today's time, most families don't stay together like that because everybody living in different areas. You know what I'm saying? Everybody kind of spread out, so it's not that village mentality no more because everybody kind of spread out. But when that happens, now the kid don't have that shield, so they get to see the exposure is a little bit higher than probably back in the day. But definitely surroundings like with violence and shootings and stuff like that. That's all the kids see. How can you expect this kid to be a Rhodes Scholar and all he sees is murder and mayhem all the time? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
There are a few. It's like a minority. It's like out of the 90%, it may be like a 5% out of 100. 100% of kids. That can outthink where they at. But this is not a whole lot because it'll be different if it was.
But the subconscious effects, right?
Yeah,
you
definitely.
can be desensitized to violence.
Right.
If somebody takes something off your desk or they bump into you in your culture,
right,
that's physical violence.
Right.
You know what I mean? You hit them a couple of times and then you just go back to doing your work because it's normalized.
Right.
Maybe the kid from the suburbs, like there were why they hit that kid? You don't
Right.
hit people. That's the last result.
Right.
And then maybe the kid from the suburbs or a different environment, maybe the mental or the psychological bullying.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Talking to them some type of way. You know what I mean? Can hurt their feelings. You know what I mean? Their emotional distress and emotional violence. You know what I mean? Or bullying could have the same effect as physical. You know what I mean? Well, not the same effect, but equally detrimental to your development.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
And that's how
whatever
kids
you
can be
get
so vain.
used to,
It's going to happen too, though.
you know,
If you don't have a group of core friends that you roll with, I mean, you're going to get singled out, man. It's crazy, but it's real, though. And that's the thing, you know. I had to deal with moving from school to school. Is when you're a new kid, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like you got a target on your back as soon as you walk in there, mud, because you don't got no friends, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I get it with the bullying and stuff. Yeah, I get it, so.
and you know, it's what you used to. Like, you used to
surviving,
fight,
yeah.
but you're not used to the verbal assaults. You know what I mean? Your environment, you know, says you fight. You know what I mean? And then if you are used to talking crazy to people and that, you know what I mean, with no violence, and then you talk to the kid from the inner city and he punches you, that can be a culture shock.
Yeah, it will be a culture shock, yeah.
God, this guy hit me on the eye.
And then another one I got is, how can a person overcome the surroundings and perception? And that's another thing to get people is that with peer pressure is the perception. You know, if you don't do this, they're going to consider you weak. You don't do this, they're going to consider you, I was about to say the P word. I don't want to say that word, but
but that's the terms they would use.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're the foul language and stuff like
pretty
that.
much, yeah, foul language, yeah. Perception is, it affects a lot of people, man.
And then you, the environment, you want to fit the norms. Like he said, being a new student, you just want to fit in.
Right.
Right. The norm in certain environments or negative environments could be extreme.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? The rites of passage, you know what I mean, might be extremely violent.
That's
you
true.
know what I mean? They might, it might be sexual. It might be you have to say something or steal something.
Right. It's true.
And it's normalized in your environment, you know what I mean? And then you taking them out of that bad environment and put in a neutral or normal.
Yeah.
It can be a culture shock there too. So
That's true.
Your environment can, very much affect.
And then another thing to think about is why is it important for youth to be exposed to different things in order to broaden a person's thinking or insight? It's very important because, like I say, if all you did was grew up in Southwest and you never went outside of Southwest, I mean, that's all you would pretty much know. We know some people that's probably from Southwest that never been to the Heights or never been to Cantor, rather, Highway 10 all the way down there, the Pinnacle Mountain. All they know is Southwest, you know what I'm saying? Baseline, God Springs,
We ain't got no mountain in Little
65th, you know what I'm saying? Arch Street, that whole little square area. That's all they know, you know what I'm saying? Never been outside of it. And, it's a luxury and a blessing to be able to get that exposure early and get to see different things instead of, where you at, your surroundings all the time, So, you got anything you want to say on that?
Yeah, not being exposed, you can view certain people negatively. You know what I mean? All of this type of people
Blanket
act like
statement.
that. You know what I mean? All this type of people. We can only do this. You know what I mean? You'll never see a person like you be a lawyer because that's TV.
Boy.
You know what I mean? I see lawyers on TV. You know what I mean? I see nurses or doctors on TV, and you don't know what you can be because you're not exposed to it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You think a waterfall is mythical, like like wow, here. mountains are real. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yes, but you know, you definitely, especially as a child, you want to see more than the apartments or projects or the rundown neighborhood you live in, because you want more. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
All right. So moving right along. Sacrificing time to invest in your future. It's not a bad thing to sacrifice time to invest in your future. That's what I'm really trying to get people to understand. Um, you have to invest time in your future, whether it's research, whether it's taking classes, whether it's learning in an alternative way, like you say, going to a trade or uh, going to real estate school. It's a bunch of stuff out there, y'all. It really is. Excuse me. Becoming a real estate broker, or you brokering deals or something like that. Being an excavator, you know what I'm saying? Clearing land, you know what I'm saying? With a bulldozer, taking the top layer of grass off. All kind of stuff out there.
anything people don't want to do for themselves is a business in a market for it.
Yeah, you gotta take the time to learn it. You know what I'm saying? Even with me, like web development, taking the time out to learn code, HTML, PHP, all that stuff. So now you can build your own website for yourself. You don't have to pay somebody to do it. And I put, you are an adult longer than you are a teenager. So those years should be invested wisely. What I mean by that is, 13 to 20, I think? 13 to 19? And what's that, like 6 years?
Yeah.
And then you go from 20 to however long you live at that point. It could be way more than 6 years, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? That time span can be shortened. It
Boy.
can be lengthened. He said, sacrificing time to invest in your future. Like that time. That time can be shortened
Boy.
if you take a little bit of that time for yourself, right?
Yeah.
And it just doesn't have to be career development, education. What about mental health?
Oh, yeah.
Talking to a counselor, seeing your falls. Matter of fact, your health.
Can the average person, though, afford mental health?
No, yeah, it's we have resources, information. You may not be able to talk to maybe a licensed therapist. Parents can get their
Man, that
kids
stuff expensive, bro.
and involved with a counselor. What about spiritual counseling? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talk with your pastor or something like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? People are going through it's a different levels of help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Read a book. You know what I mean? Take that time to don't learn something for school because you have to. Read a book for you.
Right.
What are you interested in? What's your problem?
Right.
You know what I mean? What's something, you know what I mean, you're having a hard time with? Invest in yourself to, you know what I mean? We have all these resources, YouTube, Google, 1,000 books, a million books, a billion books of other things that can help you. Invest that time. You know what I mean? If you're religious, read your Bible.
Yeah, that's
Take
true.
some time with God. That seed you plant right now,
Right.
you know what I mean, it can reap a big harvest later.
Yeah.
That's just invest in you.
Right.
You know.
Another thing is when I say you're a teen, years are shorter than your adult years. When you get over 20, you go from a teen to 20. The thing is, if you can knock your education or get all that done, whatever you choose, you get all that done before you turn 25, the rest of those adult years is just you're going to be picking through opportunities that you want to take.
Yeah.
You can take your time because, like I say, having a degree, I know people be saying they in debt, but man, you get in debt in all kind of ways. But at least with a college degree, it can open doors to you for different jobs you didn't even know existed. You know what I'm saying? And now with the shortage in the market, if you make a LinkedIn profile and have your education on, they'll start recruiting you, no problem. So, most definitely. So, this is one of our little parallel topics. We want to get into sports a little bit because we know football season starting back up. So, a couple of preseason games I saw, but you can't really use those as a proven point because a lot of those guys not even gonna make it to the regular season. So,
exactly. You know what I mean? But that's a cool little chick. You know what I mean? For a couple months, be on a practice squad.
So, what team do you have an eye on this season? Like opening season, what do you got your eye on?
I'm a Raiders fan. Like the Oakland Raiders.
Derek Carter, I don't know if he gonna make it, bro.
They got him with some good weapons. You know what I mean? 100.
But do we know how to shoot the weapons though? That's
man.
He got a big arm. Do we got accuracy though?
Yeah, he had the least amount of interceptions. You know what I mean?
But was he throwing the ball enough compared to like Aaron Rodgers and them though?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is probably the best quarterback.
Yeah, but I'm saying, did he throw the ball as much as Aaron Rodgers? So sometimes you have those stats, but you only threw the ball like for the season. You may only have like 300 attempts for the whole season. You know what I'm saying?
They have a pass heavy.
Like 10, he might throw the ball 10 times a game. You know what I'm saying?
And it's hard to.
And you get 8 out of 10. You only throw it 10 times.
It's hard to get it intercepted. When you're not throwing the ball. But yeah, they have a pass. Heavy offense. They got Adams in the offseason. You know what I mean? They had a relationship at Fresno State. I think, you know what I mean? So they're looking good. You know what I mean? He got him from Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean?
I want to see the Chiefs. I want to see if Mahomes going to bounce back. I want to see if Jameis going to step up to the plate with New Orleans now that, what's his name, not that Sean Payton.
Yeah.
I want to see if he's going to step up because from my understanding, he had a bunch of touchdowns and some yards when he played for Tampa Bay, but he still had high interceptions though, which is the weirdest thing. But I guess when you're young and you just throwing that thing, cause he got a rocket arm, but maybe it's the accuracy or the intangibles of being a quarterback. He's just not that good at it.
And they couldn't pass up on Tom Brady.
Right. You don't pass that up.
And I think sometimes to be a team leader, as a quarterback, it's hard to do that coming in as a rookie and being start, because your arm and your physical attributes is only one half of being a quarterback.
Well, I don't know, man. Some of these dudes, man, coming in, they still got the rocket arm, man, from college, man.
But that's a physical thing, you know what I mean? I think hopefully with Jameis, you know what I mean, he can sit down, you know what I mean, and because he's a very charismatic guy, good energy. The guys on the teams he's on seem to like him. So if he got that, just settle, I think he'll be great in the years to come. You know what I mean? A guy.
So what players you got an eye on this season?
That's hard.
I know, man, because I like players more than I like teams.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I wanted to see. I mean, I'm a receiver guy, so of course Adams. I want to see what he is receiver. Him and Derek Carr's relationship. I want to see what they do. So I'm got my eye on him, and then what the cheetah is gonna do. Tyreek Hill.
Run a bunch of bubble screens.
What he's gonna do?
Run slant routes and bubble screens
on the Dolphins. You know what I mean? So
like Tua, man, I don't know, bro. I wonder what he work on in the off season, or do we work at all? Cause he come back and it looked the same they did last. It's like it didn't get better.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you working on in the off season? You left-handed too. They say left-handed quarterback supposed to be better than right-handed. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. He sure not doing a good case of proving it. You know what I'm saying? So.
But this offense, like what are let me see offensive players. What about the defense players? You know what I mean? You think Aaron Donald is
Aaron Donald's gonna be Aaron Donald. He gonna get his averages, man. Dude's a beast. He gonna get his averages, man. Trying to see where what's the name went to. Dude play for the Bears? Mack? Khalil Mack. He went somewhere else. Yeah, I think he went somewhere else. I'm gonna check him out. Who else? Defensive wise. Atlanta Hawks had a pretty good defense this year, too. I think they did anyway. Yeah, Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, I don't know why I said Hawks in basketball. But Atlanta Falcons had a pretty good defense.
Yeah, like, you know, when Dion and Champ Bailey was on corners, like, awesome. You know, we was like, you know.
Was Derek Green there too? When they was there? Or did he retire?
A time, you know what I mean? They had Champ Bailey, Derek Green, and Deion Sanders at one time. The best secondary.
Boy, on paper. Champ Bailey was cold, man. I don't even know if a lot of young dudes even know who Champ Bailey is, but you got to look him up. Dude was cold. Yes. Did he start the shutdown? No, Deion started the shutdown corner, but he had a thing where they wouldn't even throw on his side, though, Champ Bailey, man. Yeah, so I always wonder, how do you renegotiate? How do you turn that into a stat, though?
Yeah, I mean, that was, with him, like, you know what I mean? Deion returned punts and stuff like that, kickoffs,
but you remember,
and he had interceptions.
But he had remember Big Keith said they had a combo coverage, but he had the whole side of the field and everybody else covered the middle and the whatever side he wasn't on. It was like a combo coverage, man.
Yeah,
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So here's the thing that I think a lot of people don't think about is how many teams really have a chance of winning the Super Bowl when you see all the schedule come out, you see all the teams and stuff. It seems like only a few teams have a really legitimate chance, and everything has to go their way too, with injuries and stuff, and everybody be on the same accord, which is another we probably get into it. It's pretty hard, but how many teams you think have a realistic chance? You know what I'm saying?
I'm a dreamer. I think all of them do, because that's like, okay. But no, okay.
No, you said you're a dreamer. We just talking about making excuses. You said you're a dreamer.
Yeah, definitely. But I was gonna say, like, we tell kids, you know what I mean, from whatever background, they can be anything.
Right.
Like, we tell them NFL teams too, hey, everybody get to play 16 games.
Like the Jags don't have a chance to win the Super Bowl, bro. Come on now. The Jags, Seattle, they just traded Russell Westbrook. They don't have a chance to win the Super Bowl. Russell Wilson.
I believe in you, underdogs.
They sound like Houston Nut over there, man. Hey, guys.
Anything's possible.
I believe in you. If nobody else believe in you, I believe in you. This is Houston Nut. Oh, man. Man, it's only like maybe 5 at best. Like Chiefs, Tampa Bay. Trying to think of who else. I don't know why Cowboys think they have a chance. As long as you got Jerry Jones calling the shots, you don't have a chance.
I think that's what gives them a chance.
No. He always calling the shots. Nobody respects the coach. They just run over the coach. Like, I ain't talking to you. I'm going to go talk to Jerry. It's that kind of culture, he said.
What do you think they need is,
who?
You know what I mean? Like the Dallas, you know what I mean? They got their quarterback. You know what I mean?
You like that?
No, I mean, there's their quarterback.
Yeah.
They got their quarterback they want. They got the running back they want.
I don't think they want, they just paid him too much, but I don't think they want what's his name no more, though. I think the minute they could cut him, it's done. It's a wrap. He has slowed down, though. But you get hit that many times, though. Something bound to happen, though.
But,
you know what I'm saying? Being a running back. You got 500 attempts. Most of the time, you may got hit at least 450. And the other 50 you ran out of bounds, they might hit you out of bounds, too. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the Cowboys don't have a chance of winning the Super Bowl. They think they do, but they don't. Trying to think, New Orleans.
What would you give LA's chance, the Rams' chance in the beginning of the season?
I mean, they had what's that on their team?
Who?
They traded Jared Goff and got
Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, you think, like, hindsight, like, you know what I mean?
They had Cup on their team. Cup, Kupp.
Yeah, like he's Randy Moss. He's like what?
No, he's not Randy Moss
like,
at all.
What?
He's more of a glorified slot receiver.
But exactly. But it was the.
But Matt Stafford can get you the ball though. Like he will force feed in Super Bowl. He force fed the dude with the ball, man.
Yeah, and he caught every time.
Yeah, especially in the fourth quarter.
That was sick.
And that's what I'm saying. That's how I knew they had a chance. Especially when I seen halfway through the season they start hitting that stride, and then when that dude made Aaron Donald mad, he pushed him out of bounds. I said, it's over. I don't know what dude was thinking. I bet they told him on game film, son, what were you doing? You don't do that to Aaron Donald. You lost your mind.
Yeah, but
my bad, coach.
Like
I was trying to win the pot. Yeah, you won. We lost the Super Bowl. You never mind.
Bingo.
Boy.
But you know what I mean? You know, it was that Matthew Stafford's first year in that offense on that team. You wasn't a first year guy. You wasn't like.
But he been in the league for a while, so I think, you know.
But he couldn't win it with Megatron. You know what I mean?
They had a whack defense too. Detroit Lions. It's something about Detroit Lions. They just, I don't know if it's the front office or what, but they just never really have success.
They had the two of the best players in existence.
Who?
You know what I mean? They had.
Barry Sanders.
And
Calvin
Johnson.
Talking about Matt Stafford. I was like, bro, you lost your mind.
You know what I mean? Like those, like.
Calvin Johnson kept getting injured too, but I think he wanted to do cannabis too. That's why he quit.
He wanted to do cannabis, like.
Yeah. I'm telling you, he said he wanted to do cannabis.
I mean, he's an advocate for cannabis.
Oh, he is. I didn't know he was an advocate.
Because, you know what I mean? In CBD, his injuries and aches and pains, you know what I mean? They play a contact sport.
He's 6'5". Was he 6'4"?
No, like 6. He's way
6'5"?
6'5", 6'6". In Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
They had
he didn't get the ball a whole lot either. Yeah. He didn't get the ball a whole lot either, but yeah.
But you know what I mean? When you know you that tall and you that big and you that fast, you know what I mean? You know, achy joints, you know what I mean? And
I thought it'd be more hamstring though.
I don't, you know, I don't have his body.
Yeah.
But you know the aches and pains, you know, hamstrings too, and you don't want to be hazy on opioids, right? You know what I mean? They give you oxys, you know what I mean, and you know they expect you to read your playbook, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean, 50 milligrams, you know, oxycodone, and he was like, you know, read your playbook and things like that, you know what I mean, or drive. But you know what I mean. They say, you know, you can take smaller amounts of cannabis and
I believe
help you with your pain or whatever.
So they say. Guess you forget about it because you saw how you forget that you're in pain. I don't know.
I mean, I think that's a good problem.
But yeah, ain't that many teams have a chance of winning Super Bowl though. It's like what 30? Is it how many teams in the NFL? Is it 28 teams or 32 teams? It's not 32. I think maybe basketball may be 32.
I was just like, but then we got 32 teams. You know,
maybe 5, maybe. And that's being modest. But,
yeah, who you got?
Win the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Let me see.
No, not winning the football. I can like your 5 teams that probably make it to the playoffs.
Chiefs, Tampa Bay.
Yeah. The Patriots.
Denver, maybe Denver.
With new Russell Wilson.
And they got a tight end too, I think, didn't they? God, well, that's 3. Who'll be number 4? Trying to think number 4. LA.
Oh, well,
LA
repeat. Okay. Who they beat in the Super Bowl?
So
no, I mean,
LA,
what team they played in the Super Bowl? What
probably be school. See them play the Chiefs or somebody.
No, but what like last year? What team they played?
Cincinnati.
So you think Cincinnati? I mean, that's how.
That was a fluke for them.
Yeah, see that was my point.
They do got some good receivers though. Them receivers are good.
Chase, and Joe Burrow, they got a good quarterback, right?
Yeah, I think he overrated, but yeah.
And you ain't got them making the playoffs.
Like the great white hype.
You ain't got them making the playoffs or nothing.
Who? They might make the playoffs, but they're not gonna win the Super Bowl though.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so. They need some more weapons on defense, especially. You know, their defense do is I think they do press coverage. A lot of press coverage, I think.
Yeah, whatever they did didn't work against Cooper.
Yeah. So our next section is how hard is to get a team on the same page for a whole season. I mean, this can go for real life and on the team. It's hard, man, to get find like dudes or friends all on the same page, man? 'Cause everybody got different mindset. Everybody got different things they want to do.
Motivations, you know what I mean? Individual, team motivations, goals.
Yeah.
Trying to get them on the same page is very hard. And then I think the goals and motivations have to change and be ever evolving.
Right.
Through the whole season. That's how you stay on the same page. You change the page sometimes. Right. Because sometimes it's going to be just being prepared. Yeah. And then sometimes it's going to be getting through adversity and banding it together.
Right. But yeah, guys, we're finna get ready to sign up out this thing before we mess around and pass out, fall asleep on this thing, man. So we're getting older, man. We can't even stay up late like we used to, man. We used to sit around and talk about this all night when we was younger, man. Now, sure, we lucky if we can stay up past 11, man. So,
back in my day,
boy. They said, I'm going to tell you a story. Now, back in my day, we didn't stay up past 9 o'clock. At 10, TV went off. Remember that?
They played the national anthem.
Can you see?
Like TV went off, fam.
Oh, you be looking at Benny Hinn, man, on TV. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Don't make me pull out the
hallelujah,
jacket.
hallelujah. Boy, that's crazy, man. But yeah, man, we finna get ready to sign out this thing, man. You got anything you want to say, bro, before we close out?
No. Like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, please. Help us reach 1K subscriber, man, please. That'd be awesome. So yeah, we better get ready to sign out, man, because I don't know how long I'm gonna last, man.
All right.
I done dozed off probably a couple times. Forgive me if I did. So
yeah, messing on to me.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all. Take it easy. We signing out.